7?
547. You dyslexic bastard.
6.
Do you hear this right now, Paul?
What's up?
Oh shit. The stream.
I'm sharing it on everything.
I have a Duel of Fates playing in the background.
Do you really?
Yes, I'm very excited for this episode.
Good, you should be. I don't hear anything. Oh, you do have it.
Who likes pie flavored pie? We all do, that's who. Barry, thank you for joining, buddy. Hey, Paul.
Yes.
I think you're gonna want to go ahead and switch. Oh, I see, desktop audio. What's up, the Ninquins? We just got a 2. Oh shit. We're gonna be getting started here shortly. Figure we just get pumped up. Hello there.
Hello there. Oh.
Oh, what's up, Hunter? The Ninquins, that makes sense. It's a shame the special guests have backed out.
I know, right?
Paul, look at this. Absolutely.
What
Oh,
is
shit.
Absolute what?
Absolutely prepared.
Alright, good. I got mine too pulled up.
Got a launch button. I love
I'm hearing
I
Echo
love
listening to the Imperial March right now.
I love AI, dude.
Oh, I need to get my drink.
Yeah, you do.
That's kind of important. Got a new one for today.
I think I'm gonna do 1910 Old Forester.
Well, I got an Old Forester as well.
Good old fresh for the guys in the stream. Oh, that was a dud. Smells delicious, but that noise was a dud. Here, let's see if I can do it better. Pop. Pop.
Have you practiced anything that you're doing for the intro? Anything fucking cool or funny? Are you just gonna start going into it? Or are you trying to sound like Sidious?
I've got something. I got something.
I was really hoping we could do our intro, click it, not say anything, and we would have like the Star Wars thing coming up, and then just like podcast far, far away.
They're not podcast. Oh, no. Oh.
Na 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 na.
Imagine Disney hops in here and it's like, ah, man, I hate to do this to you guys, but I'm gonna copyright the fuck out of you. You know what would kind of suck?
What?
If this is our #1 episode and everything we do from here on out is just Star Wars related because we get a following off of that.
Would it suck or be awesome?
It's drunk discussion. We talk about whatever the fuck we want. They know that.
We have to stick to Star Wars as much as we can for this episode. I know that's not gonna happen, but like,
Oh, it's happening. The Duel of Fates in the background is just getting my blood pumping.
I'm hard as a rock right now.
Yeah. I kind of miss the way your angle of your desk was originally with the phone behind you. That was so dope.
I have to redo this room again. I'm not a fan of how it's positioned right now.
I ain't either.
Logistically, it makes the most sense having the couch, the TV, all the gaming shit over there. Just with the
I get
size
it.
of the room, but
I should get a water too, so I don't get too fucked up.
oh, that's the best part. This is about to be completely Star Wars out, this entire thing. So we've got controversial opinions, theories, would you rathers, plenty of questions that have been put in about this. This is going to be a stacked episode of just Star Wars.
Oh, a Star Wars phenomenon brought to you, drunk discussion.
Thanks.
In a basement, far, far away.
A lonely man searches.
Two dweebs sit and argue.
God. This is Samuel Kim music. It's a remake of the Force theme tied in with the main theme. This is a phenomenal remix.
So are you taking it in? Me this time.
Yeah, I got it. Ooh, I got goosebumps. Such a fucking dweeb, I love it.
Start hitting my vape and smoking it up a little bit.
Just fucking hotbox your basement, bud. Fucking. There we go. I've got 3 minutes.
Such a headache. Super exciting. I know. Dun, 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 dun. You're gonna be able to turn off that music.
Oh shit! I gotta do this real quick. Oh, did you hear the Mando fucking looped into this?
Oh, I did. I hear it. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Now recording.
Hi, Craig.
Craig. The Mando music is honestly freaking great.
Oh no, they did a great job. Great job with the cinematography of that. Well, we could talk about it though. We'll talk about Mandalorian. It's still part of the universe.
We're gonna talk about everything.
Alright.
Almost. Give the people what they want. Connor,
You ready?
I thought you were just holding that up there, and I was like, "What is that for?"
Hunter in the chat was wondering what we're drinking.
Well, we're gonna say it, Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the fucking intro.
Jesus.
You ready?
Take us away, Dad.
Hello there. Welcome to episode 66, officially titled Execute Episode 66. Paul and I have been waiting for this episode because him and I are both Star Wars nerds to a certain degree. Him a lot more than me. I think you're probably more of a Star Trek nerd than you are a Star Wars nerd, personally.
I'm just a sci-fi nerd, regardless.
I could dig that. I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, but we've got so much to talk about. But hey, before we get into fucking sucking on Sarlacc, let's go ahead and what are you drinking on, Paul?
So I actually cracked open a pretty special bottle that my buddy Sean talked me into. And I am drinking on Old Forester King Ranch. It is a bourbon whiskey that is kept in the hot sun and charcoal mesquite barrels of Texas. And sir, I have to say this is actually fantastic. It is a great bottle of whiskey. No lie.
I will say, Old Forester, out of everything. I used to be a huge JMO fan. I love Jameson. I love the Jameson Black Barrel. This Old Forester, the 1920, the 1910, the 1897, all phenomenal batches. I love them. This was the 1910.
Heaven Hill. Anything from Heaven Hill Distilleries is my absolute favorite. I always talk good.
It's better than
Say it.
Michael
Say
Jackson's
it.
Neverland Ranch.
No. You're gonna say Buffalo Trace. I knew you were gonna say it.
No, it's definitely better than Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. That's what I like to.
No, it's
What are
phenomenal.
you drinking on tonight?
1910.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, 1910 Old Forester mixed with Coke Zero. And then I'll probably switch it up and go to a root beer mixed with 1910. Because that's what I've got. So, how was your week? We both been busy as fuck. So, how was your week?
Not busy. I mean, I killed a lot of time because I had the vid. And so I had some free time, and I got stuff done kind of around the house, chopped the tree down, did things that when I started feeling a little bitter. But when it was on, I mean, it hurt. I was down for a couple days. My work was just like, see you next week.
Yeah, if anyone listened to last week's episode, you could all hear how congested and just shitty we all three felt. We all both were sick. And so you...
Turns out it was COVID.
You had the COVID. Logan, you gave the COVID to.
did. I gave him the did.
I think I just had the flu.
Sorry, Logan. Again, sorry.
Yeah, my COVID
I
test
mean,
came back negatory. But let's go ahead. I'm excited to hop into this. So let's. Oh, look at he's got it.
let's roll that intro. Execute episode 66.
He's got his lightsaber out. It's not switching for some reason. Say something, Paul.
Hello.
Hmm.
Hello there.
Have to work on that. There it is. There it is. All right.
Hello.
Let's roll that intro.
What happened was
He did not hear
he
me
got
during
caught
any
up
of
in a
that.
drunk discussion,
They could hear you.
and then he burned the bacon.
One giant leap for mankind.
Where we talk about everything
They had the Star
and know
Wars for
nothing.
this.
You know what I mean? So it kind of seems like a win-win-win.
Three.
Here's Gerald.
Telling
everybody I'm dead.
Just
Draw a dick on it. It's not offensive. It's a dick. Everyone's got a dick nowadays.
Dude, tell me more, because I don't know anything about it.
Oh, a flapper's a 1920s dancer, you motherfucker.
Got a lot of bagels. I like my bagels. Chug 30.
Cheers. Salud.
I mean, this shit's free, right? Monday morning. Chime on in.
Tranquility Base here.
Discussions.
The Eagle has landed.
And we are back, guys. Thank you so much for joining Drunk Discussions podcast. This is episode 66, Execute Order 66. Why are we calling it Execute episode 66? We love killing children.
no, it's just such an iconic number in Star Wars, and especially the prequels. So I mean, like, there's nothing better. When we hit 66, I was like, Connor,
We got
we have to do it. And I had some buddies at work that were like, that's a great idea. And actually, shout out to him. That's where I got this lightsaber from. I got a buddy at work. Fez, you the shit. It has so many colors and changes with it. I want one.
This guy's going to wonder why, one, it smells like shit, and two, the batteries are dead.
I didn't shove it up my ass, though.
Yeah.
But to the question, so we have a bunch of topics that we're gonna go over. I think the first one that we might as well start off with is: did Han shoot first?
Yes. I mean,
Are we just like,
yeah. No.
is it deniable proof though? Like, it was obviously for so long such a talking point, and people were like, is he just a pirate at this point, and then does he evolve in character development, or is it just part of that movie magic?
So, for people that don't know, who shot first debate. The controversy revolves around the altercation between Han Solo and Greedo in A New Hope. Fans argue whether or not Han shot first or if it was Greedo, as the scene was actually altered in a later release of the film. So there is a few good points to be made with it, and this is why I'm saying yes. In the original 1977 theatrical release of A New Hope, it depicts Han Solo shooting Greedo first, establishing him as a ruthless smuggler, right? And it's also part of his character development. Him shooting first kind of displays his growth from a morally ambiguous character to a true hero by the end of the trilogy. So
Agreed.
I mean, it's also
but to be fair, I mean, he is depicted as supposed to be as a smuggler, like a pirate in a sense in the beginning. So it gives that aspect, when he he shot first, he was a ruthless pirate. He was living on his own. Him, Chewbacca, out in the Millennium Falcon for on their own. You gotta be ruthless. You have to be to survive in space.
And yes, but it also leads up. It's like a foreshadowing into the end of the trilogy, where it shows Han's willing to make drastic measures happen in order to protect people he cares about.
Agreed. I 100% agree. 100%. But I mean, I remember when the new Star Wars series came out, the new trilogy, not the prequels, the newest trilogy, and they had inside the movie theaters the scene of when Han first shot, and you could sit down and put your feet up. I still have a picture that was taken. The scene is just iconic.
So it kind of brings up a good point then. What is your viewing order? Because there's two. There's one that's called the release order, so you just watch it in the order that they are, or the machete order is what it's called.
Yes. So I mean, if you're going to truly get into Star Wars, I think maybe try chronologically, because the prequels are they're a little slower and they set things up. but you get the idea of it and you figure it out. Like by the end of 3, you've really like you had this connection with Anakin. So like
Do you
the
think
biggest thing.
Do you think the Phantom Menace is worth adding into the storyline?
What do you mean?
So
What do you mean?
the reason why I say that is the Machete Order. The Machete Order is an alternate viewing order that aims to preserve the surprise twist in The Empire Strikes Back while providing essential backstory from the prequels. However, it illuminates the Phantom Menace Episode 1, as some fans don't believe it adds much to the overall story. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I think you should watch them in chronological order. Honestly, that's what I had a friend of mine. They just started it, and we started from Episode 1.
During
We started from Episode 1. You know,
during COVID lockdown, right in the beginning. So that's when I would say I became a Star Wars fan. I'm not like I'll go to Comic-Con dressed up as that. I'm going to dress up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe before I do that. But I would definitely say that. What's that?
you're a pussy.
Oh,
Dress
yes.
up a Star Wars.
What Star Wars character is blonde, blue eyes, and a beard? Oh wait,
I mean, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, I guess I could do young Obi. Fair enough.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But during the COVID lockdown, I watched a few of them, not only for the first time, but I watched them in chronological order. And I tell you, when Execute Command 66 popped, I had goosebumps. I was like, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
When you watch it in chronological order, the way that
So you're talking about like
Not the release
Episode
order.
3. You're talking about like Revenge of the Sith.
yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's people hated on the first 2 of the prequels, and they have their flaws.
They do.
Jar Jar is a big talking point on that, but every single person from Phantom Menace up grew. Like even Jar Jar became a senator. Like he was a senator for Naboo. So I mean, like
Do you-
everyone grew, including Padme. Actually, I don't know about Padme because like there was so many red flags in front of her, and everyone just kind of walked past these red flags, and that's a big talking point now. Is like, why were the Jedi so blind to Palpatine being right under their noses the whole time?
Well, you brought up Jar Jar. Do you think he was a undercover Sith Lord?
No, that's such bullshit. I'm sorry. That is such. People are going with it, and I get it because of in Clone Wars, the series and show, and in Rebels, the man just has like weird abilities because he's just so clumsy. But I think that's just how the writers made it. I don't think he's by any means force sensitive.
I mean, he orchestrates a lot behind the scenes, though, because of his
Does.
clumsy behavior. So,
And they blame him for the fall of the Republic. He was the one that voted the Senate to give immediate power to Palpatine. And a lot of people blame Jar Jar. They're like, yep, he's the one that did it.
that would really,
Because he was easily manipulable.
if they came out,
Man-
if they came out with a series like a Jar Jar Binks series, like they've done with Mandalorian and why am I blanking? You've got the new the
Endor, well, not Endor, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. That's what I was thinking. It's all the same. It's Mandalorian because he's in it. You know,
Yeah, I know, right?
for fucking
I mean,
3 episodes.
But we have some great things come. We'll talk about those here soon. Okay, we'll get back
Yeah,
to this though. Next one. This is another talking point the prequels brought up. It was the introduction of the Metachlorians.
Introduction.
Introductions. They douched it in there, just squirted it in all of us.
Ugh.
No, but the Metachlorians, like they just threw that in there, and then you had Qui-Gon taking the sample of blood from Anakin, setting it off, and like, oh my god, he has more Metachlorians than even Master Yoda. So a lot of people were like upset because before it was just like you can just naturally gain ability from the forces around you, in you, with everything. Now in Phantom Menace, they're making it an actual living being.
I see that's a little over my head. I do have like the talking points about it. So the midchlorians, give me like a layman's term what the fuck that is.
So they're almost like, imagine like little cells within your cells, and they're living cells from the Force. And if you have a lot of them, you can manipulate them, and the Force itself can manipulate it. That's why the prophecy is the Metachlorian would pregnate a woman without a father, and then that would be the chosen child to bring balance to the Force. So it's like these intergalactic little, bacteria around the entire world, and everyone has them in them. But if you have enough of them, you can use the Force.
So it's a way of
Control.
quantifying if you're going to be the potential powerfulness of it being a Sith or a Jedi.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, so that explains why it's a way for like characters like Qui-Gon Jinn to identify Anakin Skywalker using those.
Right.
The
And I kind of
Force
like
cells.
the idea of that, because then the idea in Legends, right, is that many Sith Lords have been able to, use midichlorians to kind of change the outcomes and stuff. So, like, in the dark sense of the Force, you can change what you want to that person. Obviously, the light side, they would never interfere with natural nature.
Do you think so? Going to Mandalorian, right? So you had he wasn't a Sith Lord. The black dude that played in
Oh, no. So, Moff
Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Do you think
No, he
him
wasn't
taking
Force
Grogu?
sensitive.
No. The way he wanted to experiment on Grogu, though, don't you think he wanted to
Yes.
see if he could recreate the mid-chlorians?
Yes. Yes.
So he wanted to
did.
like synthesize mid-chlorians to give to an army, essentially, to have an army of Siths.
Jedi.
Jedis.
Yeah, Siths.
Yeah.
Which we kind of did. That's the thing. If people, I know everyone hates on it. Not everyone, but if you actually have time, watch Clone Wars, watch Rebels, watch these like animated series, and they do fill in a lot of things, especially the Clone Wars with Anakin and like kind of his fall to the dark side, because he didn't just lose him because of Padme and wanting to protect her and the Jedi Temple, how they're treating him, the Jedi Temple, but also losing Ahsoka as a Padawan. Like all three of those things is what contributed to him taking that dark path. And I feel like it definitely brings out more character development in Anakin if you watch the animated series. I'm telling you, it's great. Yes, you have to get past the first couple seasons because the animation's a little weird. But after that, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think I got like 18 episodes into it, and there's 120 that you have to watch.
Well, if you're ever wanting to like just absolutely get goosebumps and lose yourselves, is if you watch it all and you get to the final season. Obviously, if you're watching this and you haven't seen Star Wars, there's spoilers. Shit, it's a Star Wars episode. But regardless, if you get to the final episode, just the absolute impact that you're having from the connection, and when Ahsoka finds out who Darth Vader is, really, oh, dude, chilling, bone chilling. It'll make a grown man cry watching an animated film.
Really? So
Oh,
you're telling me that the last season, specifically the last episode, is the best part of that 123 episodes?
oh no. There's so many good episodes. So many. Don't take that away. It's just like that one just hits hard so home because it's something that connects, both of those series, the prequels and then afterwards. It's a gap filler. You know what I mean? It's before Luke and after Anakin has taken his path and the Order 66 has got to be a Jedi.
What?
So I mean, there's just a lot to unravel with that series.
What's your favorite Star Wars film and why?
Okay, so my favorite, it's hard. I love obviously the originals. The originals are great. It's what led us to what we have. When it comes to cinematic, just marvelous, just amazing. Everything about it. The last episode of the prequels, or last movie of the prequels, was the Revenge of the Sith. Is probably my favorite. That fight scene with Obi-Wan and Anakin is going to be forever. With Phantom Menace playing, just like you said, I remember being a kid inside the movie theater with my dad just geeking out, like just loving it.
I have the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, we're the first two movies, but that last one, I tell you what, that last one, that was something to behold right there.
I'm with you there, dude. When I was rewatching all of them, just that fight between them and the emotional connection that those two had for each other, and once Anakin was defeated, you could see the emotional connection he had gone to everything. He was like, "I'm gonna seek revenge and kill
always
all
the
of you."
eyes. And I love how George Lucas did that. It's like when Anakin finally is gone, Darth Vader has taken over, or Maul or whatever. You see these Sith Lords finally become a Sith Lord. Their eyes turn. And when Anakin's going in there and kills the younglings, and after that, during that order in the Jedi Temple, you see him turn and his eyes are yellow. That's when Anakin is officially gone.
Yeah,
He is no.
liver failures. You don't fuck with it.
Oh, but to the next question. This one was kind of cool when I looked it up. You know, last movie of the original, trilogy, Ewoks. Are the Ewoks cute and furry teddy bear-like creatures? Are they ferocious carnivores? And I have to say this. If you don't remember, in that episode, when they first find them, they're praising C-3PO as like a god because he's gold, Han gets mad. Well, what do? They tie him to a stick and they're getting ready to roast the man alive over a fire.
Yeah, usually it goes without saying. If it looks cute and cuddly, it's fucking not. That's probably the best way to put it. Because like Chewbacca does not look cute and cuddly, but he is, in all fairness, a giant sweetheart.
Yeah, especially if you're close to him, like when Han
Saves
is
his
sitting
life.
there, oh yeah, but he's sitting there still blind. Chewbacca's rubbing him and petting his head, and he's like, "Yeah, buddy, I'm okay. I'm okay." Like, yeah, creatures in Star Wars, you can build bonds. Even the Ragnar, you can build. The trainer built a bond with. You saw that in Boba Fett. You're able to ride them, build a bond with that creature. I think all creatures in Star Wars, you're able to kind of build a bond with if you're good enough at it.
That was
time.
That was Solo, a Star Wars story, the one where Han Solo saves Chewbacca's life, right?
Yes, that's the Solo movie.
That's a
which
good one.
Would be in between. It would be after. No, it would be before the first episode or first movie, technically. Same with Rogue One, because those two you'd probably watch Han, then Rogue One, and then Rogue One leads into, the original three.
Well, we talked about the release order, and then we talked about the machete order. I actually wanted to give the listeners, if you're listening to this and you're continuing to listen to this, you're obviously a Star Wars fan and you already know this. But if you don't know anything about Star Wars, this is the release order. So the release order is Episode IV, A New Hope. That's 1977 is when that was released, right? Then you have The Empire Strikes Back, which was released in 1980. Return of the Jedi, which was released in 1983. The Phantom Menace, which was released in 1999, Attack of the Clones in 2002, Revenge of the Sith in 2005, The Force Awakens in 2015, The Last Jedi in 2017, and The Rise of Skywalker. You could also include the standalone films, though, in that order, such as Rogue One from 2016, Solo, which I highly recommend, A Star Wars Story in 2018, The Mandalorian, which is currently still ongoing, but that started release in 2019, and then other Disney Plus series. And I will talk about some of the other Disney Plus series because there's a certain character in the Star Wars universe who's really prevalent that fucking hates the spinoffs. He hates it. He thinks it takes away from the main Star Wars.
I know what you're saying, and you're gonna bring up some of the old cast that hate it, and I get that, but like some of these new spin-offs are great.
They're phenomenal.
Like the new Obi-Wan was good. There was things that everybody that is a Star Wars fan critic-wise had a problem with, but every critic has a problem with all of them. When the original came out, it was almost like a cult classic. You had to be into that, that niche to like it. It took a while before it actually grew some serious traction. Same with the prequels.
Yeah.
The prequels now are looked at as pretty damn good, and then when they first came out, people hated them.
You're not wrong.
So I mean, as time goes on, we all learn to love the Star Wars universe.
Actually, they take out, for the machete order, they take out the new shit. It basically says, they say just A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker.
They're saying just watch just the main movies. That's just if you want to watch the main movies. But if you want to watch them in actual chronological order, then you're going to throw in the rest, including the series. The series have to go in there because I'm telling you, like the Clone Wars TV show is one of my favorites. It took a minute, like I said, to gain traction, but when it did, holy.
Yeah.
Like it builds up like, people don't realize this. Master Yoda, when he finally died, I was about to say fucking, when he fucking finally died, he was 960 years old.
Well,
like he was an old man. he lived, and that's why I'm excited for the idea of having these Ahsoka, maybe Yoda spin-offs and Old Republic spin-offs, because we get to see some of these characters that are older when they were in their prime. Yoda in his prime, oh my god, in the Old Republic, that would have been cool to see. Cool to see.
Do you think they're going to end up doing a spin-off of Yoda?
Absolutely. I mean, why not?
Well,
That's
I mean,
just
you've already got
money in their hands.
you got the backstory of him as a child
right
being built,
and
so-
we built. What do you mean built?
being built. Like you've got Mandalorian going into the backstory of Grogu, which is
The
Yoda.
Grogu-
right?
No. Oh, I'm so disappointed in you.
Wait,
Did
seriously?
you just say that? Did you just fucking say that?
Wait, so
I'm
Grogu
so-
isn't Yoda?
Oh no, it's a whole different fucking shame.
Wait, there's what
Shame.
species is Yoda?
Shame. Well, technically, we've never released, like George Lucas hasn't released the actual name of the species of what Yoda is, but Grogu and Yoda are a very extremely force-sensitive species in general, because of their size and the planet they're on. That they are in touch and in tune with the Force heavily.
So
And they take forever to age. Grogu is 50 years old already in The Mandalorian. So he was in his 20s when Order 66 happened, and he watched the younglings die. Like we saw that in the most recent Mandalorian episode. He shows it.
oh yeah.
So Grogu is
Yeah.
just a different character, a different youngling. Yoda is well into 900 years old at this point.
So he's a baby Yoda.
That's why people call him Baby Yoda. But he's not actually Yoda. He's just the same species as Yoda.
Well, great. Now I feel like a dumbass. So basically,
You
you're
are.
saying Yoda and Grogu are the clitoris of the Star Wars universe.
Mandalorian and Grogu are single-handedly holding the Star Wars universe together, because the last 3 movies arguably have been the worst. My personal opinion, does not take it away from the cinematics and what we've done with the ability to use computers and CGI. Really great stuff. I get it, but like the plot line could have been better.
Yeah, I'm with
Still
you
looking
there
at it.
after rewatching all of them. I did, unfortunately, since I was watching them in chronological order, I got stuck at the Clone Wars. I got stuck at that 128 series or episode series or whatever episodes it is.
You should still finish it.
Yeah,
You should still finish it.
yeah, I should.
You should.
What about
You
the Bad
literally have to. Bad Batch is great too.
Batch? Yeah.
It's another one. It's seeing the reflection and then like how these clones after the fact were treated and went through. They're obviously still in use during the Bad Batch while it's being done, but to a certain point, eventually the clones are no longer used in the Imperial Army.
They gain
They're just
humanity.
used as like veterans.
Yeah, they gain a human aspect to them from what I saw. So I did watch the Bad Batch on an offshoot after I watched a few of the episodes of Mandalorian. My buddy was like, "Hey, have you seen the Bad Batch?" I was like, "No, I haven't." I was like, "Honestly, I'm not a fan of like cartoons really." And he was like, "It doesn't matter. You're gonna want to watch this because it adds a sense of humanity to something that's
The clones.
literally programmed not to be human, but is a human." Right?
Well, it's not even they were programmed and trained to be human-like, right? That was the whole idea. But there was a default that was added by the original creators for this execution, long-term plan and execution of the Jedi taking over the Republic and turning Imperial power they are. And that I guess kind of goes on to the next thing, right? They're trained this way. And we talk about stormtroopers and their capabilities. People are always like, "Oh, dude, stormtroopers suck at shooting." Again, in the original series, by that time, the clone troopers were no longer used. They were no longer. They're veterans. They're getting old. They're sitting on the streets of of Kashyyyk and Naboo and everything wherever they're at and begging for money. So like the stormtroopers and clone troopers are two different things. And we see that again once we get into the First Order, and the First Order troopers are again, they're just people that were, when their planets were taken over, kids were seized, they were trained and brainwashed in the ways of the Empire. That's what happens from Clone Wars stormtroopers on. So when you hear a stormtrooper, that's not a clone trooper. Two
So
different things.
it was a stormtrooper then in the nod in Mandalorian when they're sitting on their cruisers and they're shooting at those cans and fucking missing. Those are stormtroopers.
Those are stormtroopers.
Ah.
Those are just random people that were taken across the vastness of the galaxy as children and then brought in and brainwashed and trained to be working for the
Just like
And we see
Mandalorian.
But we see the realization of it and the breakdown with the newest. I do like how they did that in the new trilogy with Finn. Finn being a stormtrooper for the new First Order, and then him like kind of breaking code in a sense, breaking his training and his brainwashing to be like, yeah, this is wrong.
Well, he is black.
He was, he saved it. He was like, man, fuck this. I'm out. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
And I don't blame him. And look at where it led. Dude became a pinnacle point of memes.
I think why it was such a meme is because when they were doing the actual like marketing for this new series or this new trilogy,
They're like,
Finn
oh,
was
we're
on the
all
cover.
inclusive.
Finn was on the cover of everything. We're like, bro, we're getting a black Jedi. Fuck yes. Like we get to see something cool, something new. And not to take away from, Rey being it, but like we've had, plenty of women that are Jedi in Legends, in the movies and shows and stuff like that. All we had was Mace Windu. Like we had that one black motherfucker, and he was just like cool as hell, had the purple lightsaber. Everyone wanted to be Mace Windu in Star Wars Battlefront. You could like jump and jam your lightsaber into the ground. It was cool.
I don't think
Like he was the cool character.
I don't think
and
there's
everyone was hoping.
another black person that could have played Mace Windu other than Samuel L.
no.
Jackson. He
No,
fucking
no
nailed
one-
it.
What can you imagine Chris Rock jumping out of there? What? And just jamming into the ground.
Oh my god, you just gave me a nightmare. Imagine if they recasted Chris Pratt into the Star Wars universe.
Who would he play? Probably Obi-Wan. They'd be like, you're Obi-Wan, sir.
Imagine Chris Pratt stating legendary past lines. Oh, like he's done
just
with
turned around.
Mario.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
He was like, I've practiced this speech for so long. I know his voice. I've got it nailed. Oh, hello there. Just starts throwing out Mario. Oh god, that would be the ultimate. That's what Disney should have done for April. Oh, by the way, April 1st is today. April Fool's Day.
Oh,
I've
there
been
was so
falling
many
for shit.
April 1st stuff over I was on a Star Wars fan page, and there was stuff that like, like you brought up the Jar Jar, right? And that was one of the things they released, like new Lucasfilms and Disney releasing side Jar Jar series. I was like, that's not happening. And I was like,
Imagine.
oh yeah, it's April 1st. Shit.
Imagine if Disney Plus was like, we've decided to redo the original Star Wars series, but instead of having blank as Obi-Wan, because you can't recast him, he's fucking ancient now. We've gone ahead and we've hired Chris Pratt.
No,
And then Chris Pratt comes out doing his Mario voice, and he's like, I've practiced the voice for Obi-Wan for years. I'm ready for this. And he just is like, hello there. It's just,
I'd lose it.
I would cry.
So here's this another tantalizing question with the prequels. Do you think they needed to kill off Qui-Gon Jinn as fast as they did?
Ooh. Yes, and yes, because of what it did to the story.
Agreed.
It really showed how disconnected you can be immediately from this. And it kind of relates back to like the way I see it is, you've seen The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
It's really shown you can be a major pivotal character and it doesn't fucking matter. We're going to kill you off. At least in the first like 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. That's how it was.
Oh, look at Game of Thrones did the same thing. So I
Exactly.
get that. But here's the thing, right? I think it worked because like if you didn't do it that way, it wouldn't have been Obi-Wan taking on as the master role at such a young age and having an apprentice and a Padawan at such a young age and being less like a teacher and trying to be more like a brother. And then as you get to the next 2 movies, he's trying to be a teacher, and Anakin's probably still seeing him and did see him as still like a brother figure, not as a master figure or a leader figure. And that's why there was some separation.
Oh, that's a good point. You want to do some would you rathers?
Sure, send me one.
All right. Would you rather have Jar Jar Binks as your personal life coach or be stuck in an elevator with a hungry Rancor?
Jar Jar Binks is my life coach.
You basically already have that.
I can hear now.
You basically already
good.
you already have that. You're friends with Sam.
I know, right? Oh, poor Sam.
Poor Sam. He doesn't watch. Would you rather have Ewoks follow you everywhere you go, singing their victory song, or have only Wookiee food for the rest of your life?
Bro, Wookiees eat all right though. That's the thing. Like, I mean, it's meat. They're meat eaters. I mean, it's just raw. Like, I'd have to cook that shit. But I mean, I don't know, the victory chant of them walking around would get old quickly. I'd probably go with the food with the
Wookiee
Wookiees
food?
for real.
It's-
Wookiee food.
It's basically tartar, you know?
It's basically tartar.
Would you rather have C-3PO narrate your entire life, or every time you entered a room, the Darth Vader sound or breathing sound starts playing?
Not even the music, just in breathing. Just oh no, oh man. Wait, so say that again. It was either Darth Vader's breath sound or C-3PO narrating my life.
Yes.
Oh, and C-3PO's rough. Oh god. I'd probably do Darth Vader entering and you just hear just breathing.
I think if you have that, so say this is true, and you decide to pick Darth Vader breathing, you have to pick a career that lines up with being a cunt in the office place.
Could you imagine getting home from a hard day's work? Your wife's sitting upstairs, rose petals all the way up the stairs. You open the door and she's sitting there ready for your Valentine's Day gift, and then all of a sudden you just hear like, I don't know.
Going
I don't know.
Going down on your wife, and that's all you hear.
Yeah.
You all right down there? Yeah, I'm getting some air. Okay, I'll be okay.
I heard you wanted to be kinky in the bedroom. I am your father.
Starts crushing you with her thighs. Oh, the force is strong with this one. Fucking. All right. Would you rather be a personal? Oh yeah, let's cheers.
Cheers
We
to
haven't
that.
cheers. I have to drive after this, so I'm gonna. Actually, I think I'll just walk there. I gotta walk down the road. But anyways, would you rather
Yeah, drink first.
be the
Please speak.
personal assistant of Jabba the Hutt, or have to wear a Wampa costume in the scorching heat of Tatooine for a whole day?
Ooh, probably Jabba the Hutt's assistant. Really, you get to see some crazy shit in there.
I mean,
Crazy shit.
you got strippers in
You
front
got-
of you.
Right, and a Rancor in the basement eating people alive. You know, like, I might have to go with the Jabba.
Yeah, but what if
100
he's like?
degrees wrapped up like that a day. I'd pass the fuck out.
Yeah, but what if he has you cleaning his folds?
Oh no, he has the hot women do that. What do you think he dresses fucking Leia up? That come on.
Yeah, you're
You
not
think
wrong.
you think we're doing that shit? No. He's got his personal little servants for that shit.
Let's see. Would you rather be able to understand and speak only Shriwook, the Wookiee language, or communicate exclusively through R2-D2 style beeps and whistles?
Oh fuck that! I'm going with the Wookiee over the R2-D2 for sure.
You don't want to speak like a Wookiee the rest of your life? You'd rather be doing R2-D2 styles of beeps?
No. I said I'd rather be talking like a Wookiee over like R2-D2. R2-D2, I know it just beeps. No one knows that. At least a Wookiee, you can kind of like.
There's hand gestures. You're not just
Yeah.
a tube.
You're just not a metal thing. It's beep 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 beep. No.
Oh,
no.
here's a good
No
one.
way.
This is one you could actually probably do in real life. Would you rather have every sentence you say end with "I have a bad feeling about this," or begin every conversation with "Hello there"?
I already do.
Yeah, you do.
I
Fair
already
enough.
do.
Yeah, you do.
I already do that. What about you? Which one would you choose?
I have a bad feeling about this because you could make that pretty funny. Like,
I don't know. The hello there is great too. I'm gonna text Lauren and have her do that next to you next time. She's just gonna walk in there all naked and pops in like, hello there.
honestly, I have a bad feeling about this could be used in the bedroom.
Oh no.
Honey, did you
wanna
bring your
borrow a
condom?
lightsaber?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, that's it. I'm gonna give Lauren a lightsaber glow in the dark strap on, and she's gonna walk in, and I'm gonna hear you say that. I have a bad feeling about this.
Darth Vader's breathing sound starts playing.
Imperial March just turns on. You're like, no, Daddy, no.
The Duel of Cocks instead of the Duel of Fate. Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Would you rather have the Death Star plans hidden in your home with the Empire searching for them, or accidentally send a "May the Force be with you" message to Empire Palpatine? Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Palpatine. Yeah, Palpatine.
Probably may the Force be with you to Palpatine. Because if they're coming to search for your house and like they know you have the plans, bro, everyone in that house is dead. Your whole family's dead. The house is trashed, probably burnt to the ground if they find nothing. Yeah, I'll just fucking meme Palpatine one day. Just quick meme him.
Would you? Okay, so this is a question that relates to Rick and Morty in my eyes. And the reason why, you've seen the Rick and Morty episode where they build a real life lightsaber, but they drop it perfectly vertical to the ground. And
Yes.
it starts going to the center of the earth. So here's the question. Would you rather be the clumsiest Jedi with a lightsaber or the loudest Sith trying to be stealthy?
Probably the loudest Siths trying to be stealthy. Like, for real.
You could destroy an entire planet by being the clumsiest Jedi on accident.
You could, if that's how it works, though.
I mean,
Man.
it can literally cut through anything, right? A
Except
lightsaber?
for other kyber crystals or Beskar.
Okay, so unless the entire planet's lined with both or one of the other.
Well, Mandalore is lined with Beskar, and then you had, other planets like what is it, Atar or whatever, that is lined with kyber crystals that they mine. I mean, you could. I mean, as in the new, is it the new Force Awakens? Yes. Is it? Yeah, Force Awakens, I think, is where they talk about it. They have the old temple monks, and they're talking about how the the strongest stars in the Star Wars universe have part of kyber crystal. So I mean, and that brings me on to the thing. Another question. Everyone always asks about the Star Wars lightsabers, right? They're like, oh, they have crystals, kyber crystals in the middle. Yes. What do the colors mean? Let me ask you this: do you know what the colors mean, Conrad?
I have no idea. That makes a good point. You have purple, green, blue, and red, right?
Oh, more than that.
Do you?
Okay, so there is canon, what is confirmed, and then there is legends. So Star Wars Legends is like the books, and you can read. There's like comic books that you can get of Star Wars Legends. They're great, and we're waiting. A lot of them they're taking and they're making with sections.
Could you repeat that real quick? Your mic is being all fucky.
In Legends, some of them they are going to make canon, but not every Legends book is going to become. So to start off, red. Now this is kind of on both sides. Red is the kyber crystals, where a Sith takes it, and then because kyber crystals have chlorine as well. They're alive technically, and they bleed them. They pour in the dark side of the Force into the crystals, bleeding them, making them turn red. And then obviously, if they crack from too much pressure, you get ones that are like Kylo Ren's, which is not complete. And the blade is almost moving. So that's how you get red. Red is from bleeding the kyber crystals. And then you have the yellow ones, which is for the temple guards. So in canon, it's because the temple guards had to have a different color Jedi lightsaber. They were guards.
Right.
But in Legends, they're the Sential class, and that they're the hands in their duty is able to be they're not always clean. They can get dirty a little bit, but it's mostly for the special abilities, like special forces for the Old Republic and or the guards. And then you have the commonly green ones, the green and blues, which are the commons because canon-wise, because George used them green and blue in the originals, and you can't have Star Wars without.
Oh man, you can't have Star Wars without the green and blue, is what he just said.
Yes,
Your mic,
pretty much,
dude. You need to like troubleshoot that shit.
I don't know what
Absolute dick butter, bud. Dick butter.
But regardless, for the green, it usually belongs because you're on a skilled level with the Force, but you're also on the ways of being a counselor.
A counselor. Okay, so Yoda was though a counselor, right?
Yeah, Jedi Master on the Council Master. You'll have something like that. Blue meaning a guardian, Jedi Guardian, which means that you are very skilled in Force abilities, and then that you're higher in Force abilities, and then the kyber crystal blue it means you're stronger saber skill.
Right.
Then you have purple. We all know the real reason he got purple is because Sam L. Jackson walked up to Lucas and was like, "Bro, I want a fucking purple lightsaber. Like, make it happen."
So,
and he made it happen.
I would imagine that's one of the biggest issues you have with being colorblind.
Seeing, oh yeah, no. I mean, it just looks like a darker blue.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, it's dark blue versus that's
such a shame
blue versus light blue. I know it does, but regardless. So in Legends, that means that you are strong connection with both sides, light and dark, and that's because you are usually more aggressive during battle. So that's why you have purple.
Let's talk about Disney real quick.
Okay, hold on. I have one more.
Oh, one more. Okay.
The last one is the white lightsaber that we see with Ahsoka.
Oh yeah.
Her white lightsabers show that she is no longer a Jedi nor Sith, and that she is in tune with loyalty and neutrality in the Force. So she's a neutral.
So she's a French Jedi.
Yes.
Okay.
She's a French Jedi.
Fair enough. So let me ask you, which Disney World is it? Is it the one in California or the one here in Florida that you can go have your lightsaber made?
I think it's.
Okay. So let me ask you, Paul.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay.
My hat's fucked up.
I see that. There you go. That's better.
Yeah, so Florida is the one that has the Star Wars, I believe.
So even though I've got a wife and I've got a kid, I can still leave them behind to do this with you. Would you be
Sorry,
willing,
Lauren.
Would you be willing to come down here for 2 or 3 days?
Yes.
You and I go to
Yes.
Disney World together.
Yes.
And get a lightsaber made.
Yes.
Okay. If we did that, you do know
Yes.
that you buy your crystal, but you don't know what
Yes.
color crystal you have until you put it in your lightsaber, right?
I get a purple one, I'm gonna be fucking furious.
I can't even see this shit.
This is such bullshit.
Oh, so we've got Hunter in the chat. Galaxy's Edge is what it's called. Their
Yes.
grounds is in both Florida and California. So Paul, come down here, save up some money first, because we're gonna blow probably $600 on fucking lightsabers. Let's be honest.
And the sad reality of it is the ones from Disney World are not as nice as if you got one. If you got a Hasbro and you spent the same money at Disney as on a Hasbro lightsaber, a Hasbro's nicer.
Yeah, but
Or a nanopixel.
we could do both, but we could also go there
could
for the
do both.
experience, you know?
Walk around like fucking grown-ass adults, hitting people in the face with lightsabers, and then running it through Harry. Oh, no, wait. That's at Disney. We could just take our lightsaber, travel over to Universal Studios, and just hit people in the face at that fucking Harry Potter land, going like, ha, 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 we're the real space wizards.
Imagine a battle.
You're just a cheap knockoff of us.
Imagine a battle of a bunch of Star Wars nerds versus the purple-haired Harry Potter nerds at Universal Studios.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
And then you got some dudes sounding like Jar Jar Binks coming in with a lightsaber. I've got one more. Would you rather?
All right, let's hear it.
Would you rather have Yoda as your backseat driver, constantly critiquing every move, or have a Tatooine,
Tattoo.
or you have to ride a Tatooine to work every day?
A Tantan?
No, a Tantan. Yeah, I guess it is Tantan.
Yeah. Oh, to work every day? That'd be kind of badass.
People would get the fuck out of your way.
But at the same point, you'd also have Master Yoda, a wise master, sitting in your seat, and you can ask him many things as you're fucking up on the road.
Ooh.
Yes, 10 and 2 you must be.
Oh shit.
There is no try, only do.
So what other questions do we got? I've asked a lot.
So here's another one. Ready? So here's a debate we'll go with. All right. So in the original trilogy, Han talks about the Millennium Falcon and how it's the fastest ship in the galaxy and that ran the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. They never explain how far a parsec is, or let alone how far the Kessel Run is. Now, I personally know what he did, and obviously if you've watched the Solo movie, you understand what he did, but they still don't talk about the length of what a parsec is. And now is that, like, as I know in modern day science, we still say parsecs to a sense as well in measuring space. Are they the same?
So wait a second. So in an Earth mile, right?
Right.
You have a light year as being kind of the largest form of measurement, right? So a parsec is 3.26 light years away. So you're telling me this motherfucker ran 3.2 parsecs in 12 seconds?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because it's 12, but he ran the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Oh,
so like
12
in
parsecs.
less than 12 parsecs.
So how far is the Kessler Run?
I guess that's the question. How far is the Kessler Run?
How far is the Kessler Run? All right. So,
Is-
according to Star Wars, the Essential Atlas, the Kessler Run was an 18 parsec. So, 18 times 3.26, 59 light years route used by smugglers to get around Imperial blockades. So, he was able to do a 18 parsec, 59 light year route in less than 12, which means he found an alternate route
Yes,
to
he
do
did.
it.
Because
Okay.
we've seen how he did it. I mean, he survived. Now, I wonder if when we've seen this movie, he cut through the storm and made it able to get through in 12 parsecs. Now, could anyone ever do that again? Probably no. So, like at that point, if someone came up to you and said, "I need you to make the Kessler Run in 12 again," would you do it? Even though you know that you barely made it out alive the first time?
So here's what I've got. This is off of StarWarsFandom.com. The Kessel Run was the most heavily used smuggling routes in the Galactic Empire. Han Solo claimed that the Millennium Falcon made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. A parsec is a unit of distance, not time. Solo was not referring directly to his ship's speed when he made this claim. Instead, he was referring to the shorter route he was able to travel, which I figured out
Right.
by doing math, skirting the nearby Maw black hole cluster, thus making the run under the standard distance by moving closer to the black holes. Solo managed to cut the distance down to 11.5 parsecs. The smuggler Boshek actually beat Solo's record in his ship Infinity, but without cargo to weigh him down. Which weight in a space, I don't know how that works, but whatever. A few months later, Han Solo beat both his own and Boshek's record in a run he made with Luke Skywalker. I didn't know that. So he actually beat 11.5. He beat under 12 by, I would imagine, by like 10 parsecs.
Which that's fucking fast.
Well, it's not fast. It's
just a big distance in a faster time.
he download Waves, which is
Yeah,
not a sponsor.
it's illegal. He just cheated, is what it was.
Yeah, the radar detectors. He was like, I got to go around this cop.
Pretty much.
Side road.
If you look when they show you in the movie the Kessel Run, it's very wavy through this vacuum of space. It's extremely dangerous because there's like space clouds. I don't know any other way to say it on each side. And he just cut through them. He's like, fuck it, we're cutting through it. But there's a straight line shot versus going through all this winding and waving through that. But here's the next thing, okay? So throughout the film's releases, as we've gotten, to our time now, Disney has now been taking bits and pieces out of all of the either original prequels or new trilogy.
I have seen that.
Taking sections off. One of the most iconic ones is where Leia and Luke are trapped, being shot at by stormtroopers, and he attaches his, little handy dandy hook, and they're going to swing across, and she says for good luck and kisses him. Now this is before they know that they are brother and sister. Disney has removed that scene now where they kiss, because people were grossed out by the fact that they were brother and sister 2 movies later. But when it was originally released, that's what happened. They kissed each other.
Let's be honest.
And there was tension there, but the idea was it wasn't tension. It was the Force telling them that there was a connection.
Incestual you'll be.
Oh no.
So anyways, in regards to the Kessel Run, he was
Fuck me, right? All right.
no, they took that shit out, but I continued reading. So essentially, Han Solo is you and I are basically Han Solo, is what I'm saying here. The reason why I'm saying that is he was confident when he said my ship was able to run it in less than 12 parsecs. When he made that statement, he was hoping they didn't know what a parsec was. He basically said, now they've changed it though, and bringing it into what you said. In the new Hope novelization though, Han says standard time units instead of parsecs, because he was basically boasting that his ship was the fastest. And when he said parsecs, he was like, it's super fast, but it's not really speed in any
It's distance.
It's distance in this. So he was a bit confident dumbass to try to boast his character. So essentially us. We're super confident in what we say, and half the time we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. Welcome to Drunk
That's fair.
Discussions podcast. But yeah, so no, I'm learning so much about this. So
I'm happy to be the catalyst of you learning Star Wars.
I do remember though them kissing, and for watching it fucking 20 years ago, I remember that shit. And now, well, you're right,
It's gone.
It's gone. It's not in there. Wow. I wonder how long do you think it will be until people are like, oh, the Mandela effect?
Oh my God, you're not wrong. Like that never happened. It did happen, and now this is
Proof. But not just that, there's other ones. So like in the mid 90s, Lucas needed money, right, to fund the prequel trilogy. He also did special releases. And in these special releases for some of the original ones, he added extra scenes, cuts. He added half-heart publications from Lucasfilms in 2006 for the added the prequels. He added scenes like where they were singing the singing frog lady inside the diner. That was never in the original cinema, but then if you got the movie, it's in the movie where she's singing. She got like the purple polka dots, blue polka dots, and gray. That was added in there because he did a special with a bunch of added sections that weren't in movie theater releases. So a couple of times he's done these little snippets in order to generate money and revenue to build the next franchise. Not anymore because Disney obviously owns them. I always thought it was kind of cool that you could only get these snippets unless you own a Blu-ray DVD player and you bought it on Blu-ray.
So let me ask a question. We're coming up on time here, but as a Star Wars fan, Paul, what do you hope to see from the franchise in the future?
So I think we need to take a step back. I think we're done with the future of Star Wars, like going forward for right now. I think we're done with Rey and the Legend of Skywalker.
You want
and after
backstories.
that, I want more backstories. I want to go to the Old Republic. I want to go to Yoda when he's younger. I want to go to, Dark Plagueis or Darth Raven, Sith Lords that were before, Palpatine, Darth Vader, Maul, anything that we've seen so far. I want to see some of the originals, or even farther before that, when there was an older empire that was ruled by the Sith Empire of the galaxy, and it was a fight between light and dark and that was a real battle. And I guess it's another question, obviously everyone in the original talked about the prophecy into the prequels, with Anakin being the prophet.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Fezbro.
Almost like being a messiah, as you will. They took the idea off of biblical text in a sense, and that, mother had no father, midichlorians made him, he's the highest midichlorians ever, he's the chosen one to bring balance to the Force. But what people don't realize is while you were watching that, the Jedi and the Republic were huge, so the light side of the Force was overpowered at that time and have been for thousands of years. So, did Anakin live up to his destiny? Do you think he was the chosen one? Did he actually restore balance by making the Empire?
That's actually one of the questions I had was, who, in your view, who do you think's the chosen one? Anakin Skywalker or Luke Skywalker? Because they're both technically, when it comes to midichlorians, off the chart.
They're related.
They're off the chart.
Same with Leia. Leia too. Leia is also a Jedi. People forget about that.
Yeah, but she didn't practice it to the point she's able. So I guess if they if they go into the future of it, right? That's something that they could expand on, is her becoming a Jedi and saving.
You don't want to watch Rebels, or you don't want to watch the animated.
They did that. Okay.
They did that. She's trained in Legend. She trains in the woods with Luke. Luke trains her.
How do you think she's in the middle of space and then just force wields herself into the freaking chamber? And
she was a Jedi.
So here's when it comes to
no, it wasn't Luke. It wasn't Luke. I think yes, Anakin was and did live up to his destiny of bringing balance to the Force. I think he did. And at the end, Luke didn't kill Palpatine or throw him down that shaft. It was Anakin that did it.
Yeah.
Not Darth Vader. It was Anakin, because he was back. Luke brought him back to the light. He was saving his son. Threw Palpatine over. Now later on, we find out that somehow Palpatine survives that, but Mace Windu can't survive getting thrown out a window yet, that we know of.
He could be still alive.
There's a lot of talk on a Mace Windu movie potentially coming out from Disney.
So let me ask you this. So one thing that, especially with the new season of Mandalorian, they went off into Mandalore, right? So the home planet of the Mandalorians, they
Love it.
brought in, and it was beautifully done, showing the
The
city,
mythosaur,
the
and
mythosaur.
everything.
That's one thing I wish would be expanded on. Mandalorian is great. I love Pedro Pascal. He's a phenomenal actor. Even
You
though
didn't watch any of the Rebels. You have to.
I
You have to
So
watch
they-
Rebels, and then you're going to understand what happens with Death Watch and the fall of Mandalore in this Mandalorian Civil War. That happens.
I
in
didn't
that.
know that was in that. That's the
It's
problem.
in it.
God damn it.
Now,
Okay. So
can they extrapolate onto the fact in Mando that there's a mythosaur in like Bo-Katan, which is also she is in Rebels. Cough cough means why'd you watch it? While she's in it, like, do you think she's gonna be the next leader of Mandalore? Yes, I do. I think she's gonna be the one to lead them there. But I mean, there is some snippets where I kind of believe that later down the line, Grogu, our favorite little Yoda-like character, is going to be the next Mandalore. Not Mandalorian, Mandalore. Leader, true leader of Mandalore. Where he
really,
will have the dark, I think he will have the dark saber. And he will have the mythosaur, because he's one with the Force. And since he has now taken the creed, that he will be the next Mandalore.
Could you imagine? Actually, I think I came up with an idea for our episode logo, because occasionally, for our listeners, if you're new, thank you for joining. But occasionally, I'll release a new logo for our episode. Imagine Grogu riding a mythosaur.
And that's what people are talking about. Bo-Katan had the mythosaur put it on it. It's the longest standing symbol of the Mandalorians, because the first Mandalore rode one.
It's
and
literally
united
their
them.
emblem.
It's their emblem.
I mean, people don't realize there was before the Old Republic too.
There was a battle between the Mandalorians and Jedi,
I want to put
where
this.
the Mandalorians would shoot Beskar shotguns balls at Jedi, because like their lightsabers could only deflect them, and they'd take full impact.
I will say though, as a marketing nerd, as a guy that specializes in logo development and shit like that, the fact that they were able to make the skull of a mythosaur so recognizable, they're like, this is literally the brand. People recognize Mandalorian based off of just the skull of a mythosaur. It's sort of like that,
Or the Rhino, because he does have the Rhino
he does
on him too. But either one, yeah.
The mythosaur though, every single Mandalorian character has it emblem.
I mean,
onto
you can
their
look
armor.
at the Night Owls had the mythosaur still on their armor. Death Watch still had the mythosaur on their armor.
The Taz Vizsla, they had the mythosaur. Like everyone that was a Mandalorian still respected the original tradition, first Mandalorian.
So I mean, I think there's a lot there. And with the new series, new Ahsoka series coming out that has been released,
That'll be
and
very
100%. I'm excited. I'm excited to see
How they're going to tie in her at an older age, and maybe with Ezra Bridgers as coming in as another Jedi.
So like I'm excited for that. There's so much they can do, and I just hope they don't fuck it up.
So, without this saying, guys, thank you so much for joining Drunk Discussions podcast. I hope you enjoyed episode Execute 66. This was fun. I love talking about Star Wars. I love talking
all of
about
this.
things we love. And this is one of them. We didn't talk about conspiracies. We didn't talk about slurspiracies, but this is something that Paul and I both truly love. It's a universe that you can get lost in, and it's something that you can bring into your own life whenever you want to talk about it. Thank you guys so much for listening to Drunk Discussions podcast. If you want to chime in, you can join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Drunk Discussions, or you can shoot us an email. Ask us a question. Your one question may be an entire episode. We're more than happy to do fan shout outs. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Peace.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Loved it! God, I love you guys. This makes it so much fun doing some of these
You need to hop on the stream, Paul. Give it a listen.
on the stream. Oh, because they're coming in now. Oh,